Our topic is now discharge of torts. As we all know that what is tort? Tort is basically some act that is done by the defendant whereby has without just cause of cause excuse caused harm or some harm to the plaintiff. If some defendant or a person cause some harm to plaintiff or another person, then this sue of in the court is called tort. Now we are going to discuss the charge of torts, discharge of torts. At how many ways a tort can be discharged from the court? So let's find out. Meaning of discharge of tort. Discharge of tort means extinction of right to sue and liability of sued in tort. In some circumstances, the law of tort has laid down the right of a person to sue for tort committed against him, and liability of tort feasor for tort committed by him would come to an end. In such cases, the damage suffered by an injured person would fall under the maxim "danum sine injuria", which means damage without a legal injury. There are some circumstances that can be caused by discharge of tort. These circumstances are as death, waiver by election, accord and satisfaction, release, acquiescence, judgment recover, limitation period. First, death of either party. Meaning of death. According to Blacklaw's dictionary, cessation of life, permanent cessation of all vital functions and signs. If a person again that is defendant, and if a defendant died, then this death will discharge all the torts. Death of plaintiff. Common law, if an injury was done either to the person or property of another, or which only damages could be recovered in satisfaction, the action dies with the person to whom or by whom the wrong was done. In this case, either the death of defendant or either the death of plaintiff, if happened, then the tort will be extinguished, means it will be discharged. Waiver by election, the voluntary abandonment of some legal right. If plaintiff make a statement that he voluntarily abandoned all the rights of his against some property or against some business, then the tort will be discharged. Accord and satisfaction. The new agreement is called accord and discharge is called the satisfaction. If a new agreement happen, then the previous tort will be discharged. Release. A written or a oral statement manifesting an intention to discharge another form or existing or asserted duty. If defendant makes a statement orally or writtenly that he discharged the tort against some defendant, then this tort that tort will be discharged. Acquiescence. Asylum appearance of consenting. When a person who knows that he is entitled to enforce a right neglects to be for a length of time, the other party may fairly infer that he was waived for abandon the right. It means if the plaintiff is not able to come constantly in the court, then a discharge of tort will be happen.